Amidst tales of betrayals leading to bitter divorces and a mysterious unsolved death, the lives of billionaires' wives evoke images of Chanel bags, luxury yachts, private jets, and multi-million-dollar mansions. However, beyond the facade of glitz and glamour lies a dark reality and scars that cannot be concealed with makeup. In the realm of media royalty, few understand the complexities of Anna Murdoch Mann's life. Born Anna Torv in 1944 to a Scottish dry cleaner and a merchant seaman in Glasgow, her early years were far removed from the opulence she would later encounter. Ambitious and determined, Anna's ascent to the upper echelons of society began at the bustling newsroom of the Sydney Daily Mirror at just 18 years old. It was there that Anna crossed paths with Rupert Murdoch, destined to inherit his father's media empire. Their marriage in 1967 marked the start of a partnership that not only shaped their lives, but also the global media landscape. Together, they aggressively expanded the Murdoch Empire, acquiring tabloids, broadsheets, and television stations worldwide. Anna, often seen as the quiet strength behind the throne, played a pivotal role in News Corp's narrative. She wasn't merely Rupert's supportive spouse, she was his confidant and advisor, influencing decisions that propelled News Corp to unprecedented heights. Despite her significant contributions, Anna remained mostly out of the public eye, her presence felt but not always seen. The Murdoch family expanded with the birth of their children, Lachlan, James, and Elizabeth, each destined to play their own role in the family legacy. Under their parents' guidance, the children imbibed the workings of an empire that dominated continents and shaped public opinion. Yet, despite their success, the Murdoch family faced intense scrutiny, especially through the sensationalism of Rupert's newspapers during the 1970s and 80s. Through it all, Anna stood steadfastly by Rupert's side, weathering controversies that surrounded the Murdoch brand. However, as the 1990s approached, cracks began to show in their seemingly unbreakable union. The strain became evident, leading to their separation announcement in April 1998, after 31 years of marriage. The dissolution of their partnership marked not just the end of an era for the Murdoch family, but also a significant chapter in media history. Anna's personal journey through this period revealed the profound emotional toll of her life as a billionaire's spouse. She described the aftermath of her divorce as akin to emerging from a deep mental illness, grappling with an overwhelming sense of loss. Her story is a poignant reminder of the complexities and challenges faced by those in the shadow of immense wealth and public scrutiny. Throughout it all, Anna Murdoch Mann's life story is one punctuated by profound personal and professional challenges, offering a glimpse into the high-stakes world of media magnates and the human toll that accompanies such prominence. The revelation of Rupert's affair with Wendy Deng and his steadfast pursuit of it left Anna in a state of shock. The man she had loved and supported appeared unrecognizable to her, his actions a stark departure from the partner she once knew. Anna's sacrifices were not only emotional but also professional. Her abrupt removal from the News Corp board, a position she had held with dignity, became a public humiliation that underscored how dispensable she had become in the face of Rupert's new relationship. This move severed her ties to the company and symbolized the end of an era. In the aftermath of the divorce, Anna's life took a new direction. Finding solace in her newfound independence, she began to forge a path separate from the Murdoch name. She remarried, finding love with financier William Mann, and settled into a life markedly different from her previous one. William, described as gentle and spiritual, offered her a partnership based on mutual respect and shared values. Despite her personal turmoil, Anna remained concerned about the future of the Murdoch Empire and her children's roles within it. She harbored reservations about the succession, fearing challenges and heartache for her children, who were deeply entrenched in the media business. Lachlan, James, and Elizabeth were potential heirs to the Murdoch legacy, each possessing their own strengths and aspirations. Anna hoped they would carve out their own paths, free from the weight of their father's legacy. Mistress of Deceit, the Ruth Madoff Chronicles, examines the complex story of Ruth Madoff, whose name became synonymous with one of the most notorious financial frauds in history. Her journey began far from the glitz and glamour that would later define her life. Ruth was born into a middle-class family in Queens, New York, with aspirations that surpassed her modest upbringing. She yearned for a life of wealth and status, reminiscent of the affluent residents of Belle Harbor, where she sought acceptance. In the late 1950s, Ruth's life intersected with Bernie Madoff, a charismatic and ambitious man who captured her heart. Their romance blossomed, and in 1959, Ruth and Bernie married, marking the beginning of a partnership that endured for half a century. Ruth's father, an accountant, played a pivotal role in their lives. He introduced Bernie to a network of family, clients, and friends, laying the groundwork for Bernie's initial ventures into the world of finance. The fundraising template, initially facilitated with Ruth's father's assistance, became the foundation of Bernie's burgeoning business model. Together, Ruth and Bernie embarked on a journey that would ultimately transform into a financial empire. Ruth was a constant presence by Bernie's side right from the start, often found in her father's office where their business took root. To outsiders, Ruth appeared perpetually engaged, her hands always occupied, seemingly absorbed in the intricacies of their expanding enterprise. As the years unfolded, so did the Madoffs' prosperity. They transitioned from their Queens apartment to an elegant home in Roslyn, Long Island, where they mingled with the affluent circles. Maintaining an air of composure, Ruth found guidance from Susan Blumenfeld, an influential figure who mentored her in social etiquette. Under Susan's guidance, Ruth meticulously curated her appearance and refined her wardrobe to reflect Susan's impeccable taste. Despite projecting confidence outwardly, Ruth harbored insecurities, occasionally grappling with jealousy towards other women, a facet that belied her poised exterior. Nonetheless, Ruth's reliance on Bernie was unwavering. She managed the couple's finances with acute attention, deepening her involvement in Bernie's business affairs as their empire expanded. The extent of Ruth's knowledge regarding Bernie's illicit activities remains a contentious topic. While she played a role in the initial operations of the business, Ruth maintained she was oblivious to Bernie's fraudulent scheme. This assertion was met with skepticism, as many found it implausible that she could remain oblivious to the workings of a Ponzi scheme operating under her very nose. Balancing her roles as a wife and business partner placed Ruth in a unique position. While privy to the inner workings of the Madoff investment firm, she presented herself as a bystander, unaware of the financial sleight of hand Bernie used to sustain the illusion of success. Her signature adorned documents, her name graced the firm's door, and her life intertwined with Bernie's actions that ultimately led to their mutual downfall. As their saga unfolded, the Madoffs' narrative took a dark turn. The carefully crafted world Ruth had built, one defined by prestige and affluence, began to unravel. The revelation of Bernie's Ponzi scheme not only devastated countless investors, but also cast a shadow over Ruth's reputation. The exposure of Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme in late 2008 reverberated throughout the financial realm, and at its heart was Ruth Madoff. Once a fixture of New York's social elite, Ruth's fall from grace was as swift as it was public. The life she once knew, a tapestry of luxury and opulence, unraveled bit by bit, leaving her exposed to a harsh reality she never foresaw. In the aftermath of Bernie's arrest, Ruth's life transformed overnight. The penthouse that once symbolized sanctuary, high above Manhattan's hustle, became a gilded cage. With Bernie incarcerated and their assets frozen, Ruth confronted a stark reversal of fortune from her former life. Once flush with the proceeds of Bernie's scheme, Ruth's bank accounts were now depleted, and she relied on government assistance to cover her expenses. The meticulously curated public image of Ruth Madoff had been irreparably tarnished. She found herself ostracized by the society that once embraced her, enduring relentless media scrutiny that inflicted fresh wounds on her reputation with each headline. Ruth, accustomed to a life of privacy behind drawn shades, now found herself exposed without refuge. Air conditioning, once a trivial luxury, was now a luxury she could no longer afford, as she struggled to conserve funds. Her previous lavish lifestyle had become a distant memory, replaced by a stark existence defined by loneliness and despair. Ruth's visits to Bernie in prison underscored the complexity of their relationship. Despite her own suffering from their shared tragedy, she endeavored to uplift his spirits. The couple, once inseparable as they navigated the world together, were now separated by the harsh reality of incarceration and the public outrage of their victims. The agreement with prosecutors represented Ruth's lifeline, offering a chance at semblance of normalcy amid the scandal that upended her life. In a controversial settlement, she forfeited claims to $80 million in assets in exchange for a modest $2.5 million. While this settlement ensured her survival, it did little to quell the public outcry for justice. The US Marshal's seizure of her penthouse further humiliated her, spotlighting the severity of her predicament. Her sons, once a source of pride and joy, distanced themselves, refusing to communicate with her. Meanwhile, investors whose lives were shattered by Bernie's deceit demanded accountability from Ruth. Her very existence became a symbol of anguish for those who suffered due to her husband's fraud. Ruth found herself navigating a world that viewed her with suspicion and disdain, isolated and condemned by society. Her business acumen proved formidable, pivotal in orchestrating the Mirage Resort's initial public offering in 1993, which raised an impressive $230 million, a testament to the couple's financial acuity. The unveiling of Bellagio in 1998 marked another triumph for the Wynns. With its majestic fountains and renowned art collection, Bellagio transcended mere casino status to become a global cultural icon. Elaine left her imprint everywhere, from selecting prestigious artworks to designing the lavish conservatory and botanical gardens. Bellagio set a new benchmark for luxury not only in Las Vegas, but worldwide. As the new millennium dawned, so did the Wynn's fortunes. Their next endeavor, Wynn Las Vegas, opened in 2005, stood as a testament to their visionary approach. It boasted its own 18-hole golf course, exclusive boutiques, and the revolutionary water show, Le Rêve. Elaine's role was more prominent than ever. She was not just the spouse of a casino magnate, but a billionaire in her own right, seated on the board of directors. Yet, the fairy tale of Steve and Elaine Wynn, Las Vegas's power couple, began to fray as the new millennium unfolded. Despite their shared empire-building success, their personal lives were engulfed in turmoil. In 2010, they initiated divorce proceedings for the second time, following their first split in 1986 and subsequent reconciliation. This second separation, however, was anything but amicable. The divorce proceedings unfolded spectacularly, with financial stakes as towering as the Wynn resorts. The settlement was staggering, reportedly awarding Elaine with $1 billion in Wynn stock, marking one of the most expensive divorces on record. Beyond financial assets, the battle also encompassed power and control over the Wynn Empire. Allegations flew from both sides, Steve accusing Elaine of breaching fiduciary duties, countered by Elaine's claims of Steve's reckless conduct and mismanagement of the company. Their conflict spilled from the boardroom into the courtroom, where lawsuits and countersuits depicted a partnership irreparably soured. The personal struggles were equally contentious. The divorce exposed the intimate details of their lives, with accusations of infidelity and inappropriate behavior splashed across headlines. Once seen together at glittering premieres, the Wynns now engaged in a bitter and very public feud. Elaine's battle for control took a dramatic turn when Steve faced accusations of sexual misconduct in 2018. The scandal shook the industry and threatened the very foundation of the Wynn Empire. Despite her divorce from Steve, Elaine, as a major shareholder and board member, found herself navigating the fallout while also reshaping the company's leadership and policies. Elaine's legal and personal struggles following her divorce from Steve epitomized the challenges faced by billionaire wives. While the public saw their glamorous lives, behind closed doors was a constant struggle for power, respect, and independence. The mysterious death of Rebecca Zaha unfolds as a complex tapestry of mystery, tragedy, and controversy beginning in the summer of 2011 in Coronado, California. The historic Spreckels mansion, symbolizing luxury and exclusivity, set the stage for a national saga that cast a shadow over the world of billionaire spouses. Rebecca, a vibrant 32-year-old, was romantically involved with Jonah Shaknai, a pharmaceutical magnate whose wealth rivaled the ocean bordering his lavish estate. Jonah, CEO of Medici's Pharmaceuticals, led a life marked by professional triumphs and personal tribulations, including previous divorces, before finding companionship with Rebecca at his summer retreat. Life with Jonah introduced Rebecca to a world of opulence, but it came with unforeseen costs. In July, tragedy struck their idyllic mansion when Jonah's 6-year-old son, Max Shaknai, suffered a severe accident while under Rebecca's supervision. Falling from a second-floor banister, Max sustained critical injuries, triggering an atmosphere of anguish and despair at the mansion. Rebecca, who was in the bathroom during the incident, along with her teenage sister Zaina, urgently called 911 as Max fought for his life in a coma. The household was gripped by profound grief, juxtaposing solemn silences with whispered conversations as they confronted the possibility of losing Max. In the aftermath of the accident, the mansion became a somber backdrop as the family grappled with Max's precarious condition. Rebecca, Jonah, and Adam Shacknai, Jonah's brother, who had traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, sought solace during an evening meal with a friend named Howard. On the night of July 12th, after dropping her sister Zaina at the airport, Rebecca returned with Adam to the mansion. Jonah, exhausted and heartbroken, stayed at a nearby Ronald McDonald house to be close to his son. That night, the mansion, typically vibrant, was subdued, though reports of loud music suggested an attempt to mask the sorrow. The morning of July 13th brought a discovery that would forever darken the sunny coastline. Around 6:45 a.m., Adam Shacknai claimed to have found Rebecca's lifeless body hanging from a balcony, her wrists and ankles bound, hands behind her back. In shock, he called 911 and attempted CPR to revive her, but to no avail. Rebecca's death was shockingly ruled a suicide. The autopsy showed 4 instances of head trauma, injuries the San Diego medical examiner suggested occurred as Rebecca fell from the balcony. However, a second autopsy, conducted by renowned pathologist Dr. Cyril Wecht at her family's request, presented a different narrative. Dr. Wecht believed the fractures in Rebecca's throat indicated manual strangulation, not suicide by hanging, and he declared her death a homicide. Rebecca's family vehemently denied the suicide ruling, citing her Christian faith and typically cheerful demeanor as evidence. They found the bindings on her hands and feet too complex for her to have done herself. Adding to the mystery was a knife found at the scene with blood on its handle, identified as Rebecca's menstrual blood, though no fingerprints were found. The cryptic message scrawled on the bedroom door where Rebecca was found, "She saved him, can you save her?" deepened the intrigue. According to the Zahow family's attorney Keith Greer, this could refer to Rebecca's attempt to save Max Shacknai's life days earlier. Further complicating matters, Rebecca's thumbprint was found on a paint tube, with paint on her body. Handwriting experts couldn't definitively determine who wrote the message due to its block lettering. In pursuit of justice, the Zahow family filed a civil suit, naming Adam Shacknai as responsible for Rebecca's death. The trial introduced various theories and expert testimonies, complicating an already murky case. In a surprising outcome, the civil jury found Adam Shacknai liable for Rebecca's death, awarding substantial damages to the Zahow family. However, this verdict did not align with the official ruling of suicide by the Sheriff's Department, creating a contrast between the civil and criminal findings. The aftermath of the trial left the public with more questions than answers. The Zahow family continued their pursuit of justice, seeking to have the case reopened and the cause of death reclassified. The civil suit's implications rippled through the community, challenging the integrity of the investigation and the conclusions drawn by law enforcement. Rebecca Zahow's death remains a haunting mystery, a narrative punctuated by grief, speculation, and the relentless pursuit of truth. It reminds us that the lives of those in wealthy circles, for all their outward splendor, can be fraught with unseen dangers and unspeakable sorrow. In New York City, where ambitions shine as brightly as Times Square's lights, a young British woman named Georgina Chapman was poised to ignite the fashion world with elegance and haute couture spirit. Chapman's journey began with studies at the prestigious Chelsea College of Art and Design, followed by a tenure at the Wimbledon School of Art. Her undeniable talent soon intersected with Karen Craig, another visionary, leading them to co-found Marchesa in 2004. The brand bore the name of Marchesa Luisa Casati, an eccentric Italian socialite whose legendary style had captivated early 20th century Europe. Yet it wasn't just the fashion realm that noticed Chapman's rising star. Harvey Weinstein, a Hollywood titan as influential as he was ubiquitous, played a pivotal role backstage on this sartorial stage. Their paths crossed at a fateful New York gathering where Weinstein, fresh from his first marriage's dissolution, was enchanted by Chapman's charisma. Despite their 24-year age difference, a connection sparked instantly. Chapman, initially unaware of Weinstein's towering stature in Hollywood, found his confidence and charm magnetic. Their courtship unfolded amidst high-profile events and intimate moments, culminating in a lavish wedding on December 15, 2007, at Weinstein's Connecticut estate. True to form, Chapman wore a gown of her own design, and the ceremony dazzled with stars like Renee Zellweger and Naomi Watts in attendance. The union blended the worlds of fashion and film into a singular, spectacular event. However, beneath the surface of their public unity lay complexities. Georgina Chapman and Harvey Weinstein's marriage intertwined personal affection with shared ambition and influence, a dynamic scrutinized by both public and media alike. Amidst public appearances and private moments, their relationship faced challenges that would later reveal stark contrasts between their glamorous facade and underlying realities. The unraveling of Georgina Chapman's marriage to Harvey Weinstein began quietly, but erupted into a media storm that shattered the facade of their seemingly perfect life. In October 2017, the New York Times published a groundbreaking exposé detailing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct against Weinstein. The revelations, spanning decades and involving numerous women including Ashley Judd and Rose McGowan, sparked a cultural reckoning that became synonymous with the non-Me Too movement. For Chapman, co-founder of Marchesa, the scandal posed a profound personal and professional challenge. Her brand, built on ideals of beauty and empowerment, now faced association with acts completely at odds with its ethos. Media scrutiny intensified as details of their marriage, from its fairy tale beginning to its tumultuous end, were dissected. The fallout forced Chapman into a delicate balancing act. Marchesa, once celebrated, cancelled its February 2018 runway show amid uncertainty about its future. As retailers and celebrities distanced themselves, Chapman retreated from public view to focus on her children and contemplate the path forward for her brand. In a statement to People magazine, Chapman announced her decision to leave Weinstein, expressing empathy for his accusers and prioritizing her children's well-being. This move garnered public sympathy and marked Chapman's determination to reclaim Marchesa's narrative independently from the scandal. Professionally, Chapman navigated the arduous journey of rebuilding Marchesa's reputation. Slowly, the brand began to regain ground, with celebrities once again showcasing its designs, signaling cautious support for Chapman's efforts to forge ahead. Her journey through the scandal was a testament to resilience in adversity, transitioning from being one half of a powerful couple to charting her own path amidst public scrutiny and personal turmoil. Her story unfolded as a tale of rebirth, where Wendy Dung meticulously reconstructed her personal and professional life after a highly publicized downfall. Originally from Suzhou, China, Wendy's early years were shaped by a determination to transcend her humble beginnings. In a traditional family that favored her brother, Wendy sought refuge and purpose in volleyball, showcasing her competitive spirit. However, her aspirations extended beyond sports to America, a dream that materialized through Jake Cherry, an American businessman overseeing a factory in China. At 19, Wendy seized the opportunity, persuading Jake Cherry to sponsor her studies in the United States. Welcomed into the Cherry family home, Wendy's relationship with Jake evolved from mentorship to romance, culminating in their marriage in 1990. This union, while securing Wendy's green card, was fraught with complexities and eventually dissolved after 2 years and 7 months, partly due to Wendy's involvement with David Wolfe, a closer match to her age and ambitions. David Wolfe provided not just emotional support, but financial backing that enabled Wendy to pursue an MBA at Yale School of Management, where she distinguished herself with her sharp intellect and focused determination. Yale became not just an academic milestone, but a pivotal launchpad for Wendy's future endeavors in business and media. The narrative of Wendy Dung's life during this period is intricately woven with personal relationships and calculated strategic moves. Her tenure at Yale marked a transformative phase where Wendy leveraged her marriages, education, and alliances to carve out a path where she could wield influence and power on her own terms. This ambition propelled her to Hong Kong, where she joined Star TV, a subsidiary of Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, expanding her sphere of influence and bringing her into contact with the media magnate himself, Rupert Murdoch, who was significantly her senior by 37 years. Their encounter was not happenstance but the result of Wendy's deliberate positioning within the company. In 1997, Wendy's charm and intellect caught the eye of Rupert Murdoch. She was assigned to be his interpreter during a business trip to China, a role that extended beyond mere translation. This marked the beginning of a partnership that would significantly impact the media landscape. By 1999, Wendy and Rupert were married on the deck of his yacht, Morning Glory, a mere 3 weeks after Murdoch's divorce from his second wife, Anna. Wendy's influence on Murdoch was profound and immediate. She began reshaping his lifestyle, from his diet and fashion choices to his business decisions. Her impact was not only superficial, but also strategic. Determined to leave her mark on the Murdoch Empire, Wendy steered her husband towards new ventures, particularly in the Chinese market. Their life together was characterized by power and prestige, highlighted by the birth of their 2 daughters, Grace and Chloe. Tony Blair, the former British Prime Minister, became Grace's godfather, underscoring Wendy's integral role within the family. However, their fairy tale began to falter amid rumors of Wendy's infidelity. By February 2014, whispers of a liaison with Tony Blair surfaced, casting a shadow over the Murdoch-Blair alliance. Allegations suggested secret meetings at Murdoch's ranch and other discreet locations, fueled by a passionate note from Wendy expressing admiration for a man named Tony, later confirmed to be Blair. The strain on their marriage became insurmountable, and in June 2013, Rupert Murdoch filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Their 14-year union ended abruptly, triggering intense media scrutiny and speculation about the reasons behind their split. The aftermath of their divorce underscored Wendy's strategic acumen and resilience. She emerged with properties and a settlement, maintaining an amicable relationship with Murdoch for the sake of their children. Wendy Deng's ascent through her marriage to Rupert Murdoch is a testament to ambition, influence, and the complexities of power dynamics. Her story offers insight into the intricate relationships within the world of billionaires, where personal connections can wield substantial influence. As we unravel Wendy's journey alongside Murdoch, we encounter a narrative as compelling as it is intricate, a saga of a woman who wielded significant influence in a realm where power reigned supreme.